Hi everyone, welcome back to the Discover Curtin Singapore sharing sections. I'm Kawai. So in this session, you'll find out more about campus transfer, opportunity, and experience. So today we are so honored to invite our guest, Lilin. So she's all the way from campus Mauritius and come to Curtin Singapore for the campus transfer. So today she will share about her experience and what is the process and more information for you. Hi, Lilin.
Hello.
So we are so honored to have you here today with us. Could you share more about your experience, like have a campus transfer, why you choose Curtin Singapore, and why you are choosing here?
So thank you for having me. I will start by introducing myself. I'm Lilin. I'm from Mauritius, and I started my Bachelor of Commerce in June 2021 in Curtin, Mauritius, because at the time it was still since COVID time, so my parents wanted me to be more in the same country and not go out. And I have chosen Curtin Singapore because I think that I wanted of a more foreign and abroad experience. So I think a lot of students really want this experience going abroad, discovering more about the country and also about the university. And so when I was doing my transfer, I realized that Curtin Singapore was transferring and relocating. So previously they were at Tua Payoh, and now they are located at Haw Villa Station, near Haw Villa Station. So I think the location is quite good. And in addition to this, in terms of transfer campuses, it is easier for me, for a Curtin Mauritian student, to transfer to another Curtin university because the standards are quite the same. So I think in terms of education, the only difference is that there are different teachers and different environment. But except this, I think that the quality of education is the same. And for instance, I was also very interested in the business engagement, where in the last trimester, which I'm in currently, we are given the opportunity to work, but since our student post, we cannot work according to the government rules. We are given this opportunity from Curtin Singapore to work with other companies that Curtin Singapore will be offering us. So I think this is a good opportunity. Then I think that in terms of accommodation wise, Curtin Singapore does not have an accommodation, but I think this is an opportunity for me to try to be more independent, find my own apartment. So for instance, you can also try to get to know more people in terms of not only students, but also people who work from outside and from different age group too. So I think it's a good experience, yes.
Wonderful. So you've been here in Curtin Singapore for 1 year plus?
So I transferred in June 2022 when the campus was still, it was the first time that the campus was in Haw Villa. So I think everything was still brand new and it was, yes, a good
So you
experience.
still can enjoy everything new, brand new here.
Yes, so the environment is nice, the people around is nice, and I think an advantage of being here is also because there are a lot of technological advancements. For example, in our classes, instead of just getting a card and tapping out for attendance, we have this face recognition where you have to scan your face to get your attendance every span of 15 minutes before or 15 minutes after, or else you will have to take manual attendance. But I think it's a good way of being sure that Curtin Singapore is disciplined, because if it was only card, then I think like your friends can just do it, but instead Curtin Singapore wants to be of a more disciplined university. So I think it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. So would you say that you're like taking a leap of faith to like come to Curtin Singapore?
Yes, I think so, because actually this is the first time that I am in Singapore, so I did not really know about the culture here, the environment. So I think that it was a win situation for me.
That's great. So if I give you like the 3 words to describe Singapore, what's your impression about Singapore?
I would say safety. It's very
Yep.
safe and very engaging. So you get to meet and the diverse. So you get to meet a lot of people from different countries, different cultures, and I think this is very interesting because everyone has like different stories. So you can learn from them, and you have to adapt from different culture, because Singapore is a multicultural country, so it's a little bit like Mauritius, but because here it's the majority is Chinese, and even in our school, Curtin University, Curtin Singapore is mostly Chinese.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good opportunity to learn from them and also learn from foreigners from Southeast Asia.
True. Because Singapore is an international platform that welcoming everyone from all over the world.
Yes.
Okay. So next question for you. What do you find the major difference and the uniqueness compared to the Curtin Mauritius and Curtin Singapore?
So first of all, Curtin Mauritius is a span of 3 years. So when I had to do my transfer, I was doing a semester based before, and in Curtin Singapore, it's more of a trimester based. So I did 1 year in Mauritius, which was started in end of July until November, and I had 4 months of holidays. So since Mauritius, I had 4 months of holidays. It's a little bit like I had to find either an internship or something to do or maybe travel.
Yeah.
But in Curtin Singapore, because we have in trimesters and I am majoring in accounting and finance, so I have exams every trimesters. My holidays are way shorter than Mauritius, so it's around 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth it because I am someone that really enjoy working. I'm like a work ethic, so I think in terms of spending time trying to find a job during the 4 month or traveling, I think for me it would be better to choose Curtin Singapore. In addition to this, Curtin Mauritius is of a more campus.
Yeah.
So they have like a basketball court, a football court, and they have accommodation. But Curtin Singapore is more of a building. So I think when people get to know each other, it's easier. And you always get to see the same people around. So I think it's better to make friends, and also you can also know other lecturers and other people. And Curtin Mauritius, back then when I was there, they only had like the sports clubs, but I didn't join any, unfortunately. But in Curtin Singapore, I had the opportunity to join the business club, which was before the Women in Business. And I am currently the president of Curtin Singapore Business
Wow,
Club.
that's great.
And I am managing a club, and I think that Curtin Singapore really gave me this opportunity to grow as an individual, because in this club we are doing several activities. For example, we invite speakers from outside. For instance, we had an activity where we invited from PayPal, Google, and Pfizer, where we had the opportunity to connect with them, to network, and also for the members to also get in touch with the real world. And I think a similarity between both Curtin Singapore and Curtin Mauritius is that they both offers like opportunities for us to participate. For example, Curtin Singapore is organizing hackathon competition, PMI, which is a great opportunity to grow as a student because we cannot work here.
Yeah.
And Curtin Mauritius also offers the same, but of a more working experiences.
I see. Wow, that's fantastic. Happy for you. And next question for you is how do you find your studying in Curtin, Singapore, and do you enjoy your student journey here?
I really enjoy my journey here because I think that first, Singapore is a very safe country, and because it is near, it's like in the middle of Southeast Asia, I think that it is better to travel around and get to know other countries too. In terms of trying to adapt here, I think it's not a problem for me because Mauritius is quite a multicultural country too. But for instance, if I have a problem with like if I am trying to understand something with the lecturers here, because the lecturers are mostly speaking in English and Chinese. It is easier for Chinese people to understand because the lecturer can change and explain it in a more in Chinese. But in Mauritius, if I didn't understand something, they would speak in English and French. So I think this is one of the differences too. So I think in Singapore, it's a very nice environment, especially if parents want their child to come here because it's very safe. And if they just wanted to go outside, it would be very safe. They don't have to really worry about this. Yes.
That's great. So what do you advise the student they wanted to come and transfer to Curtin, Singapore?
So I would advise them to apply as fast as possible. I know the transfer process doesn't take a lot of time, but I think that it's good to be prepared.
That's good. So like you've been here for and 1 year and over, and what kind of festival that you like the most or you enjoy here?
I think the National Day was very nice because I get to see fireworks, and it was very enjoyable. Yes. And there are a lot of attractions here to visit.
Yeah.
So as compared to the country that I was from,
Mhm.
I get to go to concerts, I get to go to attractions and new activities that I can do compared to
Oh,
there.
that's nice. One of the things, Singapore is we have so many culture and food as well. So what is the most famous food that you like? You
So I
like?
think the first type of food that I was quite impressed is something called salted egg
Okay,
chicken. I didn't know that this existed before, but the first time that I tried it here, I was quite impressed.
that's good to know. Okay, so okay, so I guess we are here, and thank you for coming here today.